Hey, what's up? My name's Paul Russell Parker III, and you might know me as PRP3 the author. Now, what I want to talk to you about in this video is my book, All In the Globe Trot Shuffle. It's a military themed book, criminal heist thriller. It's actually the first book I've ever written, so it's very near and dear to me. It's based on my actual experiences when I was in the Marine Corps as a Lance Corporal in the 1st Marine Division during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. I want to read you the back cover to kind of let you know what the book is about before I start going into it for my readers who aren't familiar with the book. You might know me from my poetry or my travel photography or my fantasy novels, and you may not know that I wrote a military themed series. So the back cover goes: what lines would you cross to make your dreams come true? Out of breath, blood dripping from his helmet, John Gabriel Warden is faced with a moral and ethical dilemma. Standing in the middle of a dimly lit kitchen, Warden happens upon a discovery that will change his life and the lives of his teammates forever. Will he turn away, or will he act upon this unbelievable find that most others would shy away from? The problem is, Warden is a United States Marine who is standing in a mansion that belonged to the former dictator during the red-hot invasion of Iraq. In this suspense-filled noir, Warden will have to circumvent more than just the enemy in a deadly journey to keep his discovery secret and safe until the time is right. He must put his life and the lives of his teammates on the line to reach their goal. Warden must travel across the globe in this criminal heist thriller, and he finds that nowhere is safe. Time after time, Warden and his companions will have to reaffirm their will to continue on after facing one daunting obstacle after the other. Will merely surviving be enough to see their financial dream turn into a reality? Will they kill or be killed? Warden is determined to finish what he and his friends started to the very end. So that's a picture of me in front of a mansion in Tikrit, Iraq. I was with Task Force Tripoli. I was just turned 20 years old, almost 2.5 years into the Marine Corps. And as you see, I was a young pup. That was a long time ago. So, like I said, the book is based on my own personal experiences. Now, of course, I took, you know, artistic, license on on a few things. It's not autobiographical. It is a fiction, but it's based on real events and real actions. Some things happened that are in the book. Some things didn't happen, like finding the money. We didn't find money and steal it and travel across the world, but we did, see mansions and whatnot. We were in situations that Warden and his team, John Gabriel Warden, he goes by Warden. Him and his team are in situations that I experienced, or my friends experienced, or things I saw that happened around me. I put them in the book. Anything that I thought was interesting. So I kind of wanted to pay, homage to 2003 invasion of Iraq veterans. Now, I write for all veterans. I write for all people, to be honest. And all veterans I consider, my brothers and sisters. And, they're my audience. But I wanted to tell our story. The story of people who were there from March until whenever you left. June, July, November 2003. You went to Iraq, and it was something that you never would have expected. A lot of us didn't even think we were going to go to Iraq. I know I was given orders, and I went from Camp Lejeune from my home unit to go TAD, temporary assigned duty, to the 1st Marine Division. I thought I was going to California from North Carolina. I ended up waking up in Spain in the C5, and then Spain. We got back on the plane, and I woke up in Kuwait City, and I was like, "Where are we? What are we doing?" I thought we were going to 1st Marine Division. This was January 2003. So a lot of the stuff you'll see in the books, really, we really went through it, and I thought it was a pretty interesting premise. There were stories. It did happen where American service members at the time found things in palaces in Iraq. I think there was a unit, in Western Baghdad, who found money, stole money, and were trying to send money home and went under the mail, and they got caught. Other people were taking, there was just amazing things you can find. There was golden AK-47s. Everyone said every fixture in the palaces were gold. If you the doorknobs, the sinks, the the shower heads, anything you saw that looked like gold, everyone was saying it was gold. So people were trying to see and validate it and see if it's true and whatnot. Just rumors went rampant because they knew how opulent the former dictator Saddam Hussein went or was. Now my book, like I said, I took artistic license with some things. Like I didn't want to go full on Operation Iraqi Freedom, so I changed names. I changed it to Operation Intense Freedom in the book because I thought it would fit my story better. I changed the name of the dictator to Rais Sharif, instead of Saddam Hussein. A lot of other things are the same, and I changed other small things just to keep it fiction, keep it you know fantasy based, keep it keep you interested, but also keep it kind of real still. I wanted it to be realistic. I didn't want to write a story where these famous movie characters are running around with machine guns, killing tons of bad guys, taking money, and jumping out of airplanes. Like no, a group of 4 young low-ranking Marines aren't, or soldiers or sailors or airmen. They're not gonna do all that fancy, incredible, unbelievable stuff. I wanted to write a story where you could say, I could have done it. If I was there, I could have done what these guys did. I could have retrieved the money in the way they did it. I could have traveled the world the way they did, and the fighting, the obstacles, everything was realistic. It's something that could have arisen, and it was something that you, as a reader, could believe that you could have done it. You could have survived it. Now, if you put me in a situation, even though I was in the Marine Corps, in like one of these action movies, I'll get shot within the first 3 seconds. The way they spray bullets everywhere, and so I wanted to make it to where you can fully believe that it can happen, and I wanted to leave questions in your mind. Maybe it did happen, or maybe I can do something like this if I was in that situation. So like I said, it's about a group of Marines, four teammates, Warden, Marks, Diaz, and Madsen. They find money in the palace. They take the money with them during the war. The war is still ongoing. Now, the beautiful thing about this, it's not a war story. It's a financial heist with the setting just happens to be in the war, so it's not heavily involved in the actual war itself. There's not a lot of combat scenes because I didn't want to write a war story with a little, financial thing on the side. I wanted to be a financial heist that just so happens, hey, they're in uniform, they're in Iraq, so they get the money, they have to hide it, they have to be able to keep it fresh. So when they return in the future, if they return, because they weren't sure that they'd ever be able to go back to Iraq, that it would still be there. And if it's there, what do you do with it then? You can't just fly to you can't just go to the airport, fly to America, and have millions of dollars in your bag. It's gonna get sniffed out. It's gonna get found. It's gonna get X-rayed. You're gonna have to give it up, and you're probably gonna get arrested and whatnot. You're gonna lose it no matter what. So how do you get that money to a place where you can actually use it? And that was a good part of the story was how did Warren get back to Iraq? How did he get them out of the country, him and his friends, when they got back? How did they travel? Where did they go to where they were going to actually use the money and be in a situation where they could spend it? Because if you just go home and start spending millions of dollars, you're going to get caught by the FBI or whatever. So it's a very interesting story. I think it's really realistic, and I think it's very very fun, and it keep you captivated. So if you ever get the chance, this is book 1 out of 3 and 2 novellas that go along with it. I think it's a very interesting read if you like crime, if you like the blurred line between good and bad, if you like financial heist, if you like the military, I think you would like it. So it's available as paperback and as an ebook. and you can find it on Amazon, or you can Google the title, All In, the Globe Trot Shuffle. You can Google my name, Paul Russell Parker III, or PRP3 the author. If you find my social media pages, you'll find the book. You can find the paperback actually through the website of like Barnes and Noble or Books a Million or other major book retail stores. And the ebook though is exclusive to Amazon. But the work around that is you can always buy the book. The ebook is very, very cheap, and you can just download the Amazon e-reader app on your phone or e-reading device or your tab or computer or whatever, and it's free to download, and then you just read it that way. So you can still enjoy it even though you might not read Amazon books. You might, just do Apple or Google, but if you can get the app for free and read it, just pick up the ebook. So that's it. Like I said, it's a very fun and interesting story. It seems realistic because it is realistic. A lot of the things you like I said, I put things in there that I experienced, like the contracting when Warden goes back to Iraq as a contractor, meets the interpreter in the chow hall and has that grenade insert. A lot of that stuff was real that I went through that I did when I went back to Iraq as a contractor. So, and the traveling, I traveled through some of those places in some of those ways that I mentioned, but not all. Like I never been on I've been on travel shipping containers, but I didn't traverse the globe on one. So pick it up, enjoy it, and after you're done, reach out to me. Leave a review or like and subscribe this video. You'll see other videos for the book. I want to make more about it because this is just an introduction. Let me know how you liked it, how you liked the book, or if you read it before, did you enjoy it or not? And that's it. So appreciate you watching the video, and come back for more. Have a good one.